ESPN College Football presented by Zales. From Tuscaloosa, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. 11th ranked Alabama plays the first of 3 straight home games as the Crimson Tide welcomes Arkansas to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Bama has won 16 in a row in the series. Equally important, they've won their last 4 games this season and are right back in the conversation for an SEC title and a spot in the college football playoff. And hi everybody, with Dusty Dvorak. I'm Dave Pasch. We'll check in with Tom Luginbill here in a minute. Since the Week 2 loss to Texas, Alabama's looked like a different team. Everything is still on the table for the Crimson Tide. 2 big reasons why, Dusty. Nick Saban, and their quarterback Jalen Milroe, much improved.
Well, Nick Saban is the master motivator. He recognized this team had to do things to get better. They showed true resiliency this year, especially a week ago, down at halftime on the road. They come back and they played fantastic in the second half. This team, he likes this personality. They're trending in the right direction. And Jalen Milroe, his improvement is a big reason why. He was outstanding a week ago, the best we've seen him throwing the football, especially his deep ball accuracy down the field, so much improved. Tommy Rees, Jalen Milroe really starting to get on the same page. If Jalen and this team continue to get better, the sky is the limit for this Alabama squad.
And with more on Milroe, let's bring in Tom.
Yeah, no question about it. You're right about the vertical passing game for Jalen Milroe. And I think Tommy Rees now is looking for the next evolution in Jalen Milroe's progression. And that is just to take what the defense gives him. Be more accurate with his feet in his eyes. It's short and intermediate passing game so that he can become more of a complete quarterback. It's okay to take the 5-yard completion and let that guy turn it into an 80-yard game. So he's getting better each week. And maybe most importantly, he's got confidence, guys.
Indeed, and talking with him yesterday, he spoke about how much more confident he is and how much belief, not only that he has in himself, but the change with his teammates and their demeanor, knowing that Milroe is the guy after he got benched following that Week 2 loss. They went back to him in Week 4. Bama has not lost since and has looked like a different offensive team. The Tide win the toss, defer to the second half, so Arkansas will start on offense, and one of the most decorated quarterbacks in Razorback history, KJ Jefferson. 33rd career start, 3rd straight year as a captain. That's the first time in 100 years at Arkansas. And for his career, 80 total touchdowns, which is a school record. He's got 12 this year, 6 picks, including 2 last week against Ole Miss. Arkansas has had leads in the 4th quarter against LSU and Ole Miss, but lost both games. And Jefferson to throw on first down. Here's Tesla out on the perimeter, and it's a gain of about 4 to the 29-yard line. Caleb Downs, outstanding true freshman safety, on the stop.
We'll be talking about Caleb Downs all day. As good of a freshman at any position in all of college football. This opening drive important for Arkansas to get off to a good start here on the road.
Running back Rocket Sanders not here today. Just continues to battle injury, so it's Dubinion getting the carry. Good second effort to at least get past the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by Tim Smith, and it will bring up 3rd down. 3rd down's been a problem for Arkansas throughout this season. Big reason why they're 0-3 in the conference.
Got to be able to stay in front of the chains. They've had too far to go on 3rd downs this season. 3rd and medium here to get started with this Arkansas offensive line. They will be challenge tested. Alabama's front playing as good as anybody in college football.
Jefferson from the pocket with time, and it's dropped at the 40-yard line. Tyrone Broden put it on the ground, and mistakes by Arkansas cost them a lot in the early portion of the conference season.
Well, this Arkansas team has to play better around KJ Jefferson, and here is case in point to start things off. Broden wide open, an excellent read there by KJ Jefferson, and a drop to end this opening possession, 3 and out. Cannot go on the road, make mistakes, and expect to find a way to win, especially against a team like Alabama.
So Max Fletcher on to punt. Kool-Aid McKinstry is deep for the Crimson Tide. And not a good punt off the side of the foot, but it takes a huge Arkansas bounce inside the 20-yard line. It will rolled dead at the 11. It ends up being a 60-yard punt. It's about 30 in the air and 30 on the bounce. And so Jalen Milroe talked about the 2 interceptions and then the game against South Florida that Alabama barely won, that Tyler Buchner started and Ty Simpson finished. They went back to Milroe. And the coaching staff has said that Jalen Milroe's really taken ownership of this team as its leader since. And we had a great conversation with him yesterday. Incredibly engaging young man. You can see why his teammates are all in on Jalen Milroe, as Jace McClellan gets the carry on first down for a gain of 2 out to the 13.
And Milroe's so mature. When we talked with him, he gets it, he understands it, has improved as a leader. Told us he learned a lot of those aspects from Bryce Young over the past couple of seasons. And Tommy Rees, the new offensive coordinator, now this is the first former quarterback that Jalen Milroe has ever had. He's really worked on his improvement and his mechanics and varieties of his game, and he feels that he's playing some of the best football since he's been here at Alabama.
So 2nd down and 8, first pass play, pressure off the edge. Milroe steps up and is tripped up. Boy, he would have broken a long one had Jaheim Thomas not got a hand in there. Milroe, an excellent athlete, big guy, able to sense the pressure and at least step up and get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and long.
Well, Jaheim Thomas has been so good for Travis Williams, defensive coordinator. The Cincinnati transfer just keeps getting better and better. A couple of nice stops to start this drive.
Milroe on 3rd down and 8 from the pocket, in trouble on the move, and now just runs forward past the 15 where he's wrapped up. Trajan Jefferson, Kiwi Rose, who is starting for the injured Cameron Ball, in there as well. 3 and out for Alabama.
This is a good Arkansas defense. They've been playing excellent for Sam Pittman so far this season, keeping them in games, keeping them very competitive. The coverage really good down the field. Milroe nowhere to go with the football, and you see the effort in pursuit to Jalen Milroe. Jaheim Thomas making every play on that opening possession. Great start for the Razorbacks defense.
You saw Sam Pittman there, year 4 for him, consecutive bowl games, 9 wins 2 years ago. James Burnip on the punt. He was hurt last week, but is back out there. He's a terrific punter. Satania under it, fields it on the 31, and gets knocked down at the 35-yard line. Terrence Howard down there on special teams after a 52-yard punt. Today's road test is brought to you by Goodyear. This is the first time for Arkansas since 1925 playing their first 4 SEC games away from home. Close loss at LSU, not as close in Arlington, and then last week they had the lead 20-17 in the 4th quarter at Ole Miss, but ended up losing that game as well. Second offensive series for the Razorbacks, and Dubinion gets the carry here on first down. No running room whatsoever, mauled by Boygby and Otis.
You know, Dave, when you really start to peel back the layers and get to the core of what has plagued Arkansas this year, take a look at just the last 4 weeks. Double-digit penalties 3 of the last 4 weeks. You see the turnovers and 20 sacks. You guys referenced the 3rd and yard in line to gain. That's a lot of the reason why they got behind the chains on 1st and 2nd down, and they've been getting sacked. They've got to clean up these 3 areas.
They have not been able to run the ball. Just 78 rushing yards the last 2 games. 36 last week, lowest of the Pittman era. Jefferson, and that pass might have been tipped. It was woefully underthrown. Dubinion was open. Deontay Lawson may have gotten a piece of it. 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Deontay Lawson off the edge, gets his hand up, deflects that pass. If he doesn't, Dubinion all alone on the sidelines. With the pass deflection, yet another 3rd and long. Can this Arkansas offensive line protect and expect to see Dan Enos move the pocket, get KJ Jefferson moving around and some of these pass concepts?
Jefferson told us his mechanics are better this year, more of a student of the game. We'll see how he does here on 3rd down. From the pocket, over the middle, it's caught for a first down. It's the tight end Ty Washington, who before last week wasn't even part of the 3 deep. And now he's one of their best weapons. He had 7 catches and 2 scores last week.
How about the pocket presence and the poise of KJ Jefferson? Dallas Hunter off the edge, steps up, finds his target.
They go back to the ground game in Dubinion. I said he wasn't on the 3 deep. He wasn't even on the 4 deep. He was listed as the 5th tight end a couple weeks ago, but an injury to Luke Hasz. Washington all of a sudden is a major factor for Arkansas tight end.
The week of Ole Miss during practice, Sam Pittman said, hey, we're going to start and play whoever practices the best by Tuesday. Ty Washington was clearly that guy. Got his opportunity, and man, has he made the most of it these last 2 weeks.
On 2nd down and 7, boy, that almost hit the receiver in motion. That a high ball thrown over the head of the intended receiver. Tesla incomplete. Took a big shot as well. No flag, but that almost hit the motion man, Jaden Wilson, on that center to quarterback exchange.
Jalen Key lowering the boom. Big shoulder on Tesla. They just haven't been able to get going as of late. This Alabama defense plays with an extreme level of physicality. Clean, good contact there by Jalen Key.
Tell you, Dusty, Sam Pittman didn't think so. He is livid on the sideline over here on Arkansas sideline and all over the referees.
Not sure why. Wasn't
his shoulder
targeting.
No,
I mean,
used his shoulder, caught him in the chest. That was a good clean play by Jalen Key. Obviously, we hope Tesla is able to come back and be healthy. They need him to get going.
You wonder about 4-down territory here where they are. Although Cam Little, their field goal kicker, has made a 56-yarder this year. It was, in fact, last week against the Rebels. 3rd and 7 for Jefferson. And it's going to be a quarterback run, but Jefferson, even at 247, is wrapped up and brought down. He did take a few guys with him and actually got back to the line of scrimmage. You're looking now at about a 55-yard attempt from here, and that's what they're going to do.
Really nice job. You'll see Robinson coming downhill, try to get the quarterback run game going. It's good penetration. Nice by Braswell off the edge. Nowhere for KJ Jefferson to run with the football.
So Cam Little is 3 for 3 this year on attempts longer than 50, including, as we just mentioned, the 56-yarder a week ago. This will be a 55-yard attempt to try to get Arkansas on the board first. It has plenty of leg, and it is money. Wow. Cam Little buries a 55-yarder.
Timeout.
And Arkansas with the first points of the game.
ESPN College Football is presented by Zales, only at Zales, the Diamond Store, and in part by Burger King.
Homecoming week here in Tuscaloosa with Alabama welcoming Arkansas to Bryant-Denny Stadium. And next Saturday, SEC Network College Football lineup, noon Eastern, will have a Command Center presentation of Arkansas and Mississippi State as the Razorbacks finally go back home. Multiple game angles and real-time player and team stats. Then it's Missouri, South Carolina, cap the day with LSU and Army. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luginbill on a 70-degree sunny day in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Crimson Tide at 5-1, atop the SEC West at 3-0. Just 2 unbeaten teams in conference play in the SEC. Georgia 3-0, Bama 3-0. Touchback, and we say hi to Matt Berry in the studio.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Happy College Football Saturday. I know it's early, but it's worth pointing out Ken Seals a dart to London Humphreys. Anchored down up early, 7-0 on Georgia, and they just forced a Georgia turnover.
Georgia's been weird in the first half this year, right?
Yes, they have. I mean, you go back to the South Carolina game earlier this season where they're down going into halftime. Obviously, they're against Auburn a couple of weeks ago, and they were on the road, and they just lit up Kentucky a week ago. A little sleepwalking potentially in Athens this morning.
Milroe to throw on first down, has to step away from pressure again, throwing on the run. It's dropped by Ja'Cory Brooks, who might still be running. But, man, Arkansas has been able to get some pressure on Milroe, which really isn't a surprise. He has been sacked 21 times in 5 games, including 6 a week ago.
Yeah, Travis Williams dials up a pressure, gets home. Good by Jalen Milroe to find the opening and locate his target. Got to catch that ball if you're Ja'Cory Brooks. But the offensive line, the struggles running the ball, protecting Milroe have been a problem for this offense this season.
Gonna hand it off here and keep it actually. Milroe flagged down. Milroe able to get about 8. See if it comes back though. Milroe's got 4 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Got it. Illegal formation, offense. More than 4 players in the offensive backfield. 5-yard penalty, second down.
They had 14 penalties against A&M last week. 9 pre-snap fouls.
That was wild a week ago. 9 pre-snap fouls. Talking with Nick Saban, you could tell he's furious about it, but this has been something that plagued them a season ago, and here it is again, been very problematic for this Bama football team.
Texas game, they had 10 of them, 2 of them negated touchdowns.
Yep. Game that they lost here, week 2. 2nd and 15. Give to McClellan with room. Up to the 30, stiff arming, and a first down. Jace McClellan, who had over 100 yards in the win against Ole Miss.
A nice hole off the right side. Got to get Jace McClellan going. I like his vision. I like his ability to get downhill. An excellent block by Tyler Booker pulling around. This is the element Tommy Rees knows they've got to find a way to get going. Want to try to or a downhill running team and try to get to those edges. A nice job there by Jace McClellan.
Here's McClellan again. Positive yardage out to about the 43 for 5 more yards. Last week they had just 23 rushing yards. Now sacks were a big factor there. Milroe at -31, but still didn't get enough from their backs. And overall, their rushing yards per game is the worst since Nick Saban took over 17 years ago.
This offensive line, it's talented. They're massive. They got 3 guys that go over 350, but inconsistency with their fundamentals has led to some real struggles running the ball.
Milroe hit and sacked. And it's Landon Jackson with the takedown, his 3rd sack of the season.
And Landon Jackson, the job he does with his hands, it's a simple swipe and then a rip up off the edge. Love the move he puts here on Caden Proctor, the true freshman. Little windshield wiper move, get the hands off it. Excellent effort to get to Milroe, and right on cue, we're seeing more this Alabama offensive line struggling to protect their quarterback here early in this one.
Again, just Milroe, 22nd time he's been sacked. 27 sacks total given up by Alabama this year. 3rd down and 10. Milroe on the move, going to keep it, and steps out of bounds about 4 yards short of a first down. See if Nick Saban keeps the offense on the field or punts it away, and looks like they're going to boot it. So good stop there by the Razorback defense.
Jaheim Thomas, essentially a spy there. He's playing second level zone coverage, eyes on Milroe the whole time, mirroring him. And as Milroe broke for the sidelines, Jaheim Thomas and other Hog defenders, good job in pursuit to escort the quarterback out of bounds. It's a good start here for Travis Williams' defense, Tom. We thought coming in, we liked what we saw on tape, and they're playing well.
Playing really well. They've controlled the line of scrimmage with a 4-man rush.
Burnip's punt lands in the end zone for a touchback, so it'll be Arkansas ball when we return. 56-yard punt, no return, 3-0. Razorbacks leading on the road. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. We get accused so often of SEC bias. I tell you what, come to an SEC game. Come to Tuscaloosa on homecoming. It's an incredible scene. The stadium was packed about an hour before kickoff.
They do it right down here, Dave, that's for sure.
KJ Jefferson dumping it off. Satania with running room up the sideline. And a first down out to the 35-yard line. He is from Fayetteville, went to high school at Fayetteville High, redshirt freshman, 5th catch of the season. Arkansas going with some tempo here after a gain of about 14. Dubinion straight ahead. Dragged down at the 38-yard line by Downs. Gain of 4.
It's a good pickup on first down. Counter action, pull backside guard tackle, and the vision downhill right now for Rashad Dubinion, who we should see a steady and heavy dose of him throughout the course of the day. If they can establish 4 or 5 yards of carry, it's going to be a good day for this Arkansas offense.
He started the bowl game last year for Arkansas at 5 touchdowns a year ago. And now a design quarterback run for Jefferson at 247 pounds. He's across the 40-yard line. Otis on the tackle. Well, Jefferson played well here in Tuscaloosa a couple years ago. Guy that traditionally has not turned the ball over. 6 this year is actually more than he had all of last year picks. He had 5 interceptions last year, only 16 career interceptions with 60 passing touchdowns. But he made a big mistake in Arkansas territory last week, and it's kind of been a pattern for the Razorbacks this year as to why they've lost games that they've been in late. Off to a good start here. Let's see what Jefferson does on 3rd down and 2. He's got a completion and a 1st down to Andrew Armstrong, a guy that at Texas A&M Commerce couldn't even get on the field his first 2 years. He's now in Arkansas and picks up 21 yards there, his 36th catch of the season.
Well, Armstrong has become the go-to guy for KJ Jefferson. A lot of trust there. I love the route. Shuts it down. You got to respect his speed. Easy pitch and catch. And then the big body wide receiver at 6'4", 200+, getting it done in the open field after the catch. Big 3rd down pickup. And this drive now on the move.
It's his first year with Arkansas. Ball at the 38. Second time they've been inside the Alabama 40 here in the opening quarter. And Jefferson faking the pitch. And sacked back at the 45-yard line. Tresman Marshall. And a loss of 7.
Times this blitz up so well. He's going to wrap and loop and come around perfectly. The timing and then the loop. Really set up well by the defensive line as they go away from him. Completely lost in protection. Doesn't get KJ Jefferson down initially, but the extra effort gets the big 6'3", 247-pound quarterback to the ground. He's tough to tackle. Nice job by Marshall staying with it.
They're 3rd in the country in sacks. That's after losing Will Anderson to the NFL. 2.5 for Marshall on the year. Jefferson dumping it off to Tesla is back out there after getting injured on the last drive. He is slammed down after getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe an extra yard. Lawson with the stop. It'll be 3rd down at about 9.
Second time we've seen some easy perimeter throws for KJ Jefferson. Good job blocking on the perimeter. A couple of wide receiver screens and quality yardage to make this at least 3rd manageable.
Keep in mind, on the last possession, they kicked the ball on 4th down from this very spot. Cam Little buried a 55-yarder. And they're just going to run Dubinion. Check that A.J. Green, the backup. He's down to the 32. Let's see, do they go for it? Nope, they're going to bring on the kicker, and why not? He's 4 for 4 in the year from 50+, and this will be right at 50 yards.
Conservative play call. Big hole opens up off the right side for A.J. Green before the Bama defenders rally and tackle. Sam Pittman comfortable settling for 3 here in this spot.
Hey, the way your defense has played so far, why not, right? 4th and 3. They have a Holder and Max Fletcher that you wouldn't expect to fake here. And another ball that is absolutely smoked, and it's good. That was way up the net from 49 yards. Little with 2 long field goals to make it 6-0, 2 minutes remaining in the first.
Nothing little about the foot of the Arkansas kicker here today, Dave. Very impressive. A couple of field goals here to start this first quarter.
He's 11 of 12 now on the season. Kick off your Sunday with NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern, ESPN. Early breaking stories, injury updates, previews of each game right up to kickoff. And then our Week 6 Monday night matchup features the Dallas Cowboys and the Chargers. You're a Cowboy fan. Any thoughts, Dusty, on what's going on?
Flush what happened in San Francisco. Out your system. Take care of the football if you're Dak Prescott. It's going to be a fun one on Monday night. Cowboys have looked like one of the best teams in pro football at times. And, boy, last week, they looked anything but that on the road against a really good Niners team.
Kendrick Law, the deep man here for Alabama. Let's see if the Crimson Tide could get something going offensively. They've only thrown the ball once. But again, that's because of the pressure put on Milroe. He hasn't really had a chance to throw when he's dropped back. And we mentioned this earlier, just 2 teams that are unbeaten in conference play in league games only. Alabama's one of them. And they play LSU in a couple weeks. They got Tennessee next week, 3 straight home games. Tennessee and LSU were the 2 teams that beat Alabama last year, one by 3, the other by 1 in overtime.
Curious if LSU can figure out that defense. Jaden Daniels has been sensational so far this season, but that defense for Matt House, it's been very, very suspect. If they can round into shape, LSU It'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Milroe keeps it that time. And Arkansas not fooled all over that. Maybe even a loss of 1 on the play. Trying to get Milroe going here in the run game.
Chris Paul Jr. is not playing today, and he's a big piece of the linebacking core for Arkansas. Enter Antonio Greer. The USF transfer stepped in. He's got great energy. Been playing well here early on. Oh, he wasn't ready for it.
Ball on the ground. Milroe tackled. And Davier was bearing down on him, and so a loss of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 15 after that mistake.
And Milroe still surveying the field. That was, I don't know if you could tell from down there, Tom, but just some miscommunication there between Seth McLaughlin and Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, and not loud. And you're right. He was looking downfield, was not ready for the snap. I don't know if McLaughlin heard something, but this is the hole that Alabama cannot be in, backed up in their own area.
3rd down and 15. Milroe looking deep. Oh, he's got a receiver wide open, and it's caught at the 40-yard line by Kobe Prentice inside the 10 and into the end zone for the touchdown. That's Milroe's strength. The deep ball. 79-yarder.
This is where Jalen Milroe has really excelled. The deep ball accuracy down the field. He put so much air under this ball and a blown coverage on the back end by Arkansas. Kobe Prentice all alone, and the ball delivered perfectly from Jalen Milroe.
Season-long completion, not surprisingly, and just like that in one play, the game's tied, and then with the extra point, not only does Alabama take the lead, but Will Reichard. Oh, hold on, because there's a penalty marker down. I was going to say Will Reichard.
Defense, more than 11 players in formation at this half. The Bills decline, try is good.
So the try is good. Will Reichard is now the all-time scoring leader and SEC history passing Daniel Carlson. Congratulations, Will Reichard.
Well, you got to be able to give him time. If you can protect for him, he's going to make you pay. And you're going to see this safety, eyes down here in the middle of the field, opens up. Kobe Prentice just going to get vertical and up the field. Arkansas safety grabs the underneath route. Nobody there. Jalen Milroe with the right read and a dime down the field. That's the progression, Tom, that Tommy Rees spoke to us about yesterday when we were meeting with him, and that's really where Jalen Milroe has been able to take his game. Stares down the underneath route, grabs that safety, has him come down, and he knows he's got the whole shot open down the field.
Yeah, and the fact that he's now starting to begin to go left to right, high to low, and work through the progression with patience, and then turn it loose and let it go. I mean, that's one of those wide open ones that often gets overthrown.
Could have thrown it better for the touchdown.
No doubt.
As we mentioned, Reichard now 481 career points. He's also 7th in NCAA history in scoring. And hammers this one through the end zone for a touchback. So Arkansas trailing for the first time will take over on its 25-yard line. Arkansas has lost 9 straight games here in Tuscaloosa. The last time they won here was back in 2003 in a game in double overtime. They've lost 16 in a row overall to Alabama, going back to 2006 prior to Nick Saban taking over. Dubinion off the right side, and he gets wrestled to the ground after a gain of maybe 1. Tim Keenan in there first. Cleaned up by Latham. He's 2nd and long.
Tim Keenan is playing excellent right now. That tape against Texas A&M was off the charts. You can't move him. A big force. One thing about this Alabama front, long arms, heavy hands, they get good extension and shed blocks so well.
Dubinion again. Up to the 32 for a gain of 5. Going back to Keenan, head coach has told us yesterday, Tim Keenan III, he could have played in 1975. A total throwback. Stud in that D-line, 6'2", 315.
He's strong, tough to move, and got those heavy hands that you absolutely love as a defensive lineman.
And that is the final play of the opening quarter here in Tuscaloosa, with Alabama on a big play leading Arkansas by 1.
Some people
You've had better success on first down, been able to sustain 2 drives. How do you capitalize in the red zone and get some touchdowns?
Well, we've had a couple negative plays off of them as well, you know, on the drive. So we just got to stay out of sacks, negative plays. We had a sack to stop that last drive. I like the way our guys are playing. We're getting some positive yards on first down. I like the way our defense are playing. We had a bust on the long pass by Milroe. I like where we're at in the game, though.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right.
And they come back with the quarterback run after spreading it out, and Jefferson did not get it, at least at first glance. Appears to be short by half yard. And so Arkansas will punt it away. Good job by Alabama. KJ Jefferson is not easy to get down. 247 yards. And even though that offensive line has struggled, they've got size up front. But, I mean, Alabama always has big defensive linemen, and they were able to hold up at the point of attack.
It's a good stop by the Alabama front. You got a quarterback near 250. He tried to lean and get that first down. Alabama wasn't letting it happen.
Fletcher to punt. And again, it takes initially a good bounce for Arkansas, but then heads sideways and is down at the 17. Check in with Matt in the studio.
Gentlemen, Michigan over a 4-touchdown favorite against Indiana. So Indiana's just going to pull out all the tricks. Donovan McCullough to Jalen Lucas. Hoosiers up 7-0 early. Michigan kind of sleepwalking early.
And you know, Matt, it's interesting. Every year, there's a week where just crazy stuff happens in college football. Think about the Thursday night West Virginia Houston game. The comeback by Stanford last night. I know it's early. Indiana, Michigan. I know it's early with Georgia Vanderbilt, but today feels like that day, or this weekend anyway. We're going to have some wild stuff in college football. McClellan on the carry, and he gets 2 yards to the 19. Brought down by Antonio Greer, who's filling in for the injured Chris Paul.
Well, it's that time of year, though, right, Dave? Like middle of October, teams are figuring themselves out. Especially here this morning, early kicks. You're a little sleepy, coming off a big win. College football Saturdays always deliver in the fall, Mr. Pash. You know that.
Nick Saban has never lost an October home game. Never. 31-0. Those are almost all league games. Here's Milroe going deep again for Burton. And Burton adjusts to make the catch. Jermaine Burton, who had 9 catches last week. He had 8 all year prior to a week ago. And he gets 42 yards on that one.
Well, it's Snacks Johnson in coverage with Jermaine Burton. He's in pretty good position. But you see the adjustment, the body control. And one thing about Jermaine Burton, he attacks the football when it's in the air.
They go to McClellan. It gets upended at the 36-yard line, gain of 2. Burton, a transfer from Georgia, who again was not much of a factor early on, but had 197 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win over A&M last week. Big play here to get Alabama inside the Arkansas 40-yard line.
Just a couple of shot plays here early on in this first quarter. Similar script for Jalen Milroe a week ago in College Station.
Waydale Williams is the running back next to Milroe. Milroe in trouble and sacked for the 2nd time. Hudson Clark getting back there.
Dialing up pressure. No one identifies Hudson Clark coming off the edge. You're going to get edge pressure off the opposite side as well. Elijah Pritchett now in at left tackle. Not identifying the blitz. And it's been a common theme this year, as we've already talked about here early in the show, the protection and the struggles from this Alabama offensive line.
It's been a pad level thing too, Dusty. This defensive front for Arkansas can bend.
So 3rd down and 15 after the sack. Bringing pressure again. It's picked up. Milroe in time. Got a receiver again. It's caught for first down. Ja'Cory Brooks, who had a drop earlier, pulls that one in. That's a gain of 25 and a first down.
Well, the protection's good here. Roydell Williams stepping up, taking on that blitzer. Nice route run by Ja'Cory Brooks. Runs away from the coverage. Ball delivered perfectly from Jalen Milroe. Good execution by the offensive line, running back in protection. Another 3rd down conversion for Jalen Milroe.
The offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, told us as Milroe pitches it here to Williams off the right side, down to about the 13 for a gain of 5. Rees told us yesterday, Jalen Milroe needed a game like last week to have confidence as a passer, 2 weeks ago, he threw the ball just 12 times. Last week, 33 attempts for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and big plays through the air again today here with Alabama in the red zone. 2nd and 5 on the 13. Milroe getting the check from the sideline. Williams gets the carry again. Knifing through the defense down to the 10. Landon Jackson with the stop, 3rd and short now.
I like the way Landon Jackson plays. On an edge, he's got that great length at 6'7". He's really put together a nice start to the season in this ball game, but he's been a key piece for this Razorback front all season. A captain, guy who started his career at LSU, but grew up wanting to be an Arkansas Razorback. He's made his way back close to home and really putting together a great season.
Going to put Milroe under center here with McClellan behind him on 3rd down and 2. A couple of tight ends in the game. Arkansas bringing 10 around the line of scrimmage for the handoff here to McClellan, who picks a hole and has a 1st down. That's a good run by McClellan. Nick Saban praised him, and think how many great running backs he's had, but he loves McClellan.
Excellent cut by Jace McClellan. Sets it up outside, puts that left foot in the ground, works back in. We were talking with Coach Saban about that running back room in general, and he loved it. He said he thought it was an excellent running back room, very dependable. High praise for Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, and some of the young backs as well.
So on 1st and goal, here's McClellan again, pushing the pile down near the 1-yard line. 215 pounds driving through. The defender, Jordan Crook, will be 2nd and goal from around the 1-yard line.
This is methodical, Dusty. They're in a rhythm up front right now. This run game looks really good from field level.
Yes, it does.
They're going to go 3 tight ends here. Here comes a tush push, right? Milroe under. Here it is. Push from behind by the tight end, Oots. And a touchdown for Alabama.
Tough to defend and stop. You got all that size and bulk up front of the offensive line, and athletic Jalen Milroe and Robbie Oots from behind, giving the additional nudge to get the quarterback into the end zone. Well executed by this Alabama offense. They hit the shot play to Burton, came back on a key 3rd down to Ja'Cory Brooks, and then do something they haven't done a lot of: line up and run the football into the end zone. Great execution there by this Tide offense.
What'd you call that last week?
The weak sneak, Dave.
How about the butt hut? How do you think there? Extra point good. 14 quick points by Alabama. Stadium. How about Jalen Milroe? He's got 3 completions for 148 yards. Also has a rushing touchdown. Had the passing touchdown, 79-yarder 2 possessions ago, and it's now 14-6. Bama. This is in the field of play, and Satania going to take it here. And he's out to about the 23-yard line. Brought down by Quindarius Robinson. This season, for every field goal, an extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Well, Nick Saban, if Alabama wins today, it'll be 200 victories for him with the Crimson Tide. Bear Bryant won 224, each with 6 national championships, the last coming in 2020. Alabama's never gone more than 3 years in the Saban era without a championship, and they played for the title 2 years ago. Last year ended up in the Sugar Bowl with a win over Kansas State, and again those tough losses against Tennessee and LSU by a combined 4 points. Already 1 loss this year, so margin for error very thin, and they were trailing early in this game, but now on top 14-6. Jefferson going to keep it himself here. Talking with Nick Saban's going to be 72. You asked him in our meeting yesterday about practice how he gets after it still, the way he coaches.
So engaged and such a hands-on coach. I mean, passionate and attention to details to every play. We were at practice on Thursday, and he was coaching like it was a national championship, 4th and 1 on just a 3rd down package, and he raises the level of everybody within this organization. It's remarkable.
Jefferson keeping it again, and he's out to the 28. And when you ask the question about him coaching the DB, he's a DB coach at heart.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he put his head back in frustration over some of the mistakes. You asked him, hey, you know, how was the week of practice? He thought about it. And he's always great in the production meetings with us. Very different, I think, than maybe what people expect. He's always very forthcoming with information, always very honest. He looked at you and said, we'll see on Saturday. In other words, we got the sense it was not a good week of practice. Or at least he didn't think it was a good week. And everybody said, you know, you can kind of tell based on the post-game speech from the previous week what kind of a week of practice it's going to be. They had a big win, and they were all prepared to get yelled at all week long to not get complacent. Jefferson hit, sacked on 3rd down. Latham has had a good start to this game for Bama. That's a loss of 12.
Well, inside Latham, watch the hands. It's going to be a quick chop, rip, and he's getting up the field immediately on Bo Limmer. Nothing he can do. Straight to the quarterback. The quickest way to get to the quarterback is a straight line right in front of him. Excellent inside pressure by Latham. And another 3rd down stop for the Tide defense. He just throws so many bodies at you up front, man. They are deep along that defensive line.
Come after the punter. Fletcher gets it away. It's high and deep. Fielded at the 36, and fair catch made by Kool-Aid. 49-yard punt. No return. Midway through the 2nd quarter. So we were talking about Nick Saban in practice. Well, how about him in games getting after it? So he doesn't like the effort here on the field goal from Terrion Arnold. He lets him hear about it for a while. Goes all the way back to the bench. And Terrion Arnold actually spoke this week about how he likes to be coached hard. And they target a certain type of player here at Alabama. It's not just about getting great athletes and great football players. As Milroe, off play action, takes another shot. Middle of the field, incomplete. Diving attempt by the true freshman Jalen Hale.
Boy, Milroe loves to take the deep shot, and his true freshman Hale had to step down the field. Ball just floats on him, gets a little bit away, and he missed on the deep shot. But to your point, quality young men, and I think that if you come play at Alabama, you're going to get coached, and you're going to get coached hard. These players embrace that, and the proof's in the pudding, as they say, Mr. Pash.
Here's Jam Miller getting a touch off the left side. Ridden down at the 41-yard line by Brad Spence. A big 3rd down here for Arkansas, with Alabama having all the momentum. The Razorbacks need something good to happen. It's been rare that that's been the case this year for Arkansas.
Milroe's had a couple of big throws on 3rd down here so far in this first half. Exactly right, Dave. Got to find a way to get a stop here. Travis Williams. Can he go man-to-man with some of the speed Alabama presents at wide receiver? Showing pressure on a crucial 3rd down.
There are the numbers that back up your point on 3rd down. Over 100 yards on 2 completions. Milroe waiting for somebody to come open. And it's caught for a 1st down by Prentice. He had the 79-yarder. And again on 3rd down, Milroe able to find an open receiver. 14 yards.
Man-to-man coverage. And it's Kobe Prentice running away from Hudson Clark. Hudson Clark can't keep up with him. The protection's there, and a good find once again on 3rd down by Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, we need to see more of that, Dusty. That's some of that short and intermediate stuff where you're patient, you see it, you let it unfold, and then you're accurate underneath. That's the next part of his game.
9 yards per play, Tom, for Alabama so far. Miller with room inside the 35-yard line. And Jam Miller all the way down to the 28. That's a gain of 16 for Miller, who had just 9 carries all year before today.
We knew Alabama, Tommy Rees wanted to get to the edges, wanted to get this running game going on the perimeter. Good blocking by the wide receivers and speed to the edge for Jam Miller.
Now they go empty here with Miller leaving the backfield on 1st down at the 29 of Arkansas. And Milroe on a roll right now. Lobbing it downfield, another wide open man. An easy catch by Nyblack. Alabama touchdown. touchdown. Take a bow, Jalen Milroe. 2 touchdown passes, a touchdown run, and it's 20-6.
Well, I'll tell you what, just a blown coverage, and Jalen Milroe takes advantage of it. Nobody identifies Nye Black. Easy like Sunday morning for Jalen Milroe with his 3rd touchdown of this first half.
Reichard with the point after. Milroe told us he talks regularly with Bryce Young, who he backed up last year, and Bryce has stayed positive, encouraged him, and we're seeing a different quarterback the last month here with the Crimson Tide. Confidence sky high for Milroe right now. Our next games are brought to you by Cracker Barrel. BYU, TCU, ESPN, Oregon, Washington, ABC tonight, LSU, Auburn, ESPN. You know, Dusty, you and Tom are always forcing me to go to these fancy restaurants. I'm good with Mama's French Toast at Cracker Barrel. I'm good with that.
Absolutely. Who isn't? What are you talking about, Mr. Snooty? I mean, geez.
I tell you what.
Touch back, it'll come up to the 25. I know Matt Barry's with me on the Mama's French Toast breakfast.
I tell you what, Patch, I knew you were a man of the people. Dan Mullen, not a man of the people. He's a Shishi restaurant guy himself. Coming up, Lex's halftime report. Beware of the sleepwalk early on. Georgia and Michigan doing just that. Ohio State and Florida State are rolling. Plus, we'll take a look at Oregon and Washington this afternoon. And all Galloway eats is cheese pizza. He's as boring as it gets.
No dairy in season. It's a no-no for an announcer. Joey's got to know that. First down at the 25. Jefferson over the middle. Incomplete, throwing high. Intended for Jaden Wilson. And so far, Arkansas under 100 yards of total offense, just 83. Jefferson 5 of 9 passing, and again a struggle to run the ball, just 12 rushing yards so far.
And the first 5 possessions, 3 of those 3 and out. They got to be able to get something going, trying to get the RPO game going. It's a big part of Dan Enos' offense, and have not had any success here early on.
Their defense got to be tired, got to get some first downs, but again trouble running the ball. Dominic Johnson off the right side got face planted by Deontay Lawson. Another 3rd down and long.
But Deontay Lawson, we haven't talked much about him. He's the leader of this Alabama defense. I mean, he is the alpha. Everybody follows. He's very smart, makes all the calls. Downhill, violent tackler. One of the best linebackers in college football. Nick Saban even said, one of the best linebackers when it's all said and done before he leaves that's going to come through here. That's quite the statement when you think of the lineage at linebacker that they've had here since Nick Saban's been the head coach.
You're going to run the ball, you might want to try blocking him.
Yeah, exactly.
2 of 7 on 3rd down. And it's 3rd and 10. The wide receiver screen. And a broken tackle by Armstrong. Fighting. Might be short. Sam Pittman faced with a decision here. Own 35-yard line. Do you go for it here on 4th down?
I think you have to. I think you have to right now. And I know what you're up against with this Alabama front. But you've got to get a spark. You've got to get something going. Get your defense a little bit of a rest. And they're going to keep the offense on the field. That's a really good effort by Andrew Armstrong just to make it close.
I mean, wouldn't this be the tush push, especially when you got a quarterback that's 247? Just get a couple guys lined up behind him, shove him forward.
Well, they can't run it any other way so far today.
I think they're going to run this down and call a timeout.
Timeout.
So
Arkansas.
Arkansas will think it over, but I agree with you, Dusty. I think the decision right now for Sam Pittman's pretty easy. You're down 15. You've had a lot of busts in coverage. You got to do something to get some momentum back here, because if you're able to get down the field and score a touchdown, get it to a 1-score game at halftime, you're still in this thing.
Absolutely, 100%. And right now, keep the ball away from Jalen Milroe.
Yes.
He's got a hot hand right now. This Alabama offense got some rhythm starting to click. You need your offense to be able to get a first down, sustain a drive, and have some positive momentum going into halftime. They started this game good. End of first quarter, Sam Pittman was happy. Alabama's completely taken over here in the second quarter. It would pay real dividends to go into halftime. A little momentum, a little positivity.
Obviously, the danger is you don't get it. You give Alabama the ball in the short field, and Sam Pittman's changing his mind. He's going to punt it away here.
Alabama gets it coming out of the locker room as well.
Risk reward, I understand. I mean, you could lose the game right here if you don't get it. You're still down just 15. And obviously does not trust his offensive line.
I think that's the biggest point. The matchup of that offensive line against that defensive line.
Could this be a fake? No, just a little bit of a delay there before the boot. McKinstry backing up, lets it go, and it checks up. And down to about the 16-yard line by TeSlaa.
Jalen Milroe, we've talked about his improvement and what he's done since the benching week 3. How about today? Love this concept as he's going to work this safety down the underneath route. The double move is wide open, ball perfectly placed down the field from Jalen Milroe. His deep ball accuracy as good as anybody you'll find. You got to have protection. When you can protect him, Roydell Williams stepping up, getting the blitzer. You give him time, a big third down as he hits Brooks on the corner route. Jalen Milroe already absolutely lighting it up today. 5 completions and 191 yards.
True freshman Justice Haynes gets the carry. And Landon Jackson with another tackle. Maybe 2 yards on first down. Alabama has all of its timeouts. 2.5 minutes remaining. And again, earlier in the year, maybe at this point you shut it down. You just run it. First, second, third down. But again, the confidence for Jalen Milroe has grown, and the confidence the coaching staff has in Milroe has grown. Let's see how they handle this. Just going to run it on 2nd and 9. But running back able to break tackles. Justice Haynes getting a first down. We are outside 2 minutes there. And so clock did not stop when the play ended on the first down. Now that we're inside 2 minutes, it will on the next first down.
With Justice Haynes, a talented true freshman. Watching him at practice, he's got a different gear. Really good vision and jump cut to get the first down.
Better field position. They open it up a little bit. Milroe on a crossing route has a completion out to the 35-yard line. Isaiah Bond, first time we've called his name today. He's had a great year. It's his 20th catch. Jaheim Thomas with the hit. Bama going with tempo with the clock at 1:25, saving their timeouts.
I like the aggressiveness.
2nd and 2. Milroe at time, launching to the sideline. Burton made the catch and got a foot down before he got knocked out of bounds by Singletary. And they're in Arkansas territory again after a 16-yard gain.
Boy, this is really good body control. Goes up, strong hands to possess the football, and gets that left foot down first before the right goes out of bounds. Quality field awareness by Jermaine Burton.
Arkansas bringing pressure. Milroe in trouble. Sack back at the 45-yard line. Landon Jackson back there again for the Razorbacks.
Just so good with his hands. Working on the left tackle, Pritchett.
This is the first of the half.
Gets the hands.
30 seconds.
Bends that edge really well. Landon Jackson's 2nd sack of the first half. You'll see him here. Thomas is going to come off the other way. Nowhere for Milroe to really go. I want you to focus on Landon Jackson. Just a chop, rip. You get the hands, you can win as an edge rusher. Landon Jackson, 2nd sack here today.
Got a timeout called by Alabama, leaving the Crimson Tide with 2.
Dusty, they've already made a change at left tackle, and they're running out of people to put on the opposite side of Landon Jackson to give some relief.
They started with Caden Proctor, that's who he got the first one on. Now we've seen Elijah Pritchett in there. Not an answer for what Landon Jackson is posing in the pass protection.
So 2nd and 16 with 1:09 on the clock. Milroe from the pocket again, taking another deep shot, and the receiver stopped. Bond stopped his route. Good coverage by Jaden Johnson downfield. Now there's a chance for Arkansas maybe to have some time on the clock and get the ball back if and get a stop, and that's a big if, because third down is a down that Jalen Milroe has owned here in this first half.
Seemed like Bond and Milroe, you called it right, Dave, on a different page. You saw Isaiah Bond starting to shut it down, and Milroe wanted to go deep down the field.
Look at those numbers on third down. 118 passing yards, 3 of 3. Milroe in trouble, though, and knocked down back at the 40-yard line. Landon Jackson is all over the place for Arkansas. Well, the Razorbacks call a timeout here. Yes, they will. With the clock's moving, it should have stopped a while ago.
What a half for Landon Jackson. And you win on the outside, it sets up the inside. Now the counter, you're going to see him start out and work his way in and beat Pritchett with a nice inside move. What a half here for Landon Jackson.
Thank you.
2 sacks for the LSU transfer captain on this Arkansas defense. So they put some time back on the clock after that Sam Pittman timeout. 57 seconds remaining. This afternoon on ABC and ESPN app at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. It's Oregon and Washington. Obviously, game day was in Seattle. Who do you got in this game?
I got Oregon. I think it's going to be a great matchup. Love what Michael Penix and that passing attack has done. I just think Oregon runs it better, trusts their defense more, and Bo Nix got a chance to make a statement as well as Michael Penix. Should be a fabulous game. Big-time rivalry. Can't wait for that one this afternoon.
Excellent punt. High in the air. Satania signaling, and the fair catch is made at the 10. That took 7 seconds off the clock. And Arkansas will start on its 10-yard line. Job by Burnip hanging it high and deep. 51-yard punt.
Talking from the onset, this Alabama defense, it really is one of the best in college football. And they just keep getting better and better and better. And it's all 3 levels. Kool-Aid, the Kinstry, one of the best corners in the country. Caleb Downs, a star there at safety. Dallas Turner, one of the premier edge rushers. Haven't seen or said his name much today. We've talked about Lawson. And Boygby coming off of one of his best games of his career. They were just loaded at all 3 levels.
Arkansas going to play conservatively here and just run Dubinion on first down. Again, you have a punter like that, right? It changes things.
Yeah.
Arkansas was hoping that, maybe the ball would be punted in the end zone. They get some room, start on the 20, but now that you're backed up, they look content to just go to halftime here.
That terrible field position, Dusty, almost the entire second quarter.
Yes, they have. And they came out playing tough, showing a lot of fight and grit. Big second quarter for the Alabama offense and Jalen Milroe. Intrigued to see how Arkansas responds and comes out at halftime. Alabama's going to get the football to start the second.
And Dubinion is dropped by Chris Braswell. You mentioned we hadn't called Dallas Turner's name. We didn't call Braswell's name either. Yet Alabama holds Arkansas without a touchdown. 2 long field goals by the Razorbacks. All they have to show for this game so far offensively. Meanwhile, Jalen Milroe lighting it up. 21-6 tie. Halftime report, Matt Berry, Joey Galloway, and Coach Dan Mullen. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Zales. From beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. The Crimson Tide trying to go to 4-0 in league play and win their 5th consecutive game overall. And they have a 21-6 lead over Arkansas as we start the second half. Jalen Milroe, who threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another, will be on the field shortly as Bama's offense will get it here in a minute. Cam Little kicking it away to Kendrick Law. Arkansas trying to avoid an 0-4 start in conference play. Had a 3-game losing streak 2 years ago, still won 9 games. 3-game losing streak last year, still won 7 games. And a touchback, so Alabama will start on its 25-yard line. All right, Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak upstairs, Tom Luginbill down on the field. And as much as Jalen Milroe has impressed us, and we talked a lot about him in the first half for good reason, the defense holding Arkansas under 100 yards in that opening.
They've been outstanding all day long, controlling the run game, controlling the line of scrimmage, pressure on the quarterback, just 98 yards for Arkansas in that first half. A couple of sacks for this Bama defense, and then on third down, getting off the field. Arkansas just 2 of 8 on third down. This Alabama defense playing as advertised in that first half.
Milroe to the air, and it's caught. Good tackle in the open field of the 29 on Malik Benson. by Stewart as we check in with Tom.
Yeah, Dave, talking with Sam Pittman coming out of the locker room, obviously there's a lot of frustration there. They just can't get ahead of the chains on first down. He said we have to have first down plays that go beyond 2 yards so that we can sustain a drive and just keep that offense for Alabama off the field. It's been very frustrating. He feels like they've played better than the score actually shows.
No, they had those 2 field goals, and then that 79-yard touchdown pass just felt like a backbreaker as McClellan just bounces off of defenders to get a first down onto the 41. Since that second field goal, Arkansas has a total of 17 yards. And meanwhile, Alabama can't be stopped on the other end.
Not very aggressive in that first half from Arkansas. And well, Alabama really has found something. Good physical piece of running by Jace McClellan to get that first down.
Got an injured player at the 46-yard line for Arkansas. Can't see the number. Back in a minute.
Back in Tuscaloosa is number 25, Keon Stewart, heads into the injury tent. This position's getting really thin, guys, for Arkansas on the perimeter. Dwight McGlothern, their normal starting corner, did not come out of the locker room. He's out for the second half. Arkansas down to their third corner on the one side of the field.
Yeah, Nudie McGlothern didn't play last week because of a concussion. Did try to play early on. Yeah, but meanwhile, McClellan with another big run. First down to the 45. Another 14 yards for McClellan on the ground.
Well, it's a really good block. 52, Tyler Booker getting movement, paving a path. See the center, Seth McLaughlin, getting up to that second level. A couple of nice holes here provided by this Alabama offensive line to start the second half. And they get that running game going, man. Look out to complement Jalen Milroe and this passing attack. It's going to be tough to deal with this offense.
Gonna throw here. Milroe stepping up. Another deep shot going for Burton. And it's incomplete. Singletary in coverage. Milroe is not shy at all. He not afraid to chuck it downfield. And he's been on target a lot. This one was just thrown a little bit off target. Burton still could have caught it, but might have been out of bounds anyway.
I thought that's a ball that Jermaine Burton could catch. He's got those strong hands, typically attacks the football. Isn't able to bring it in. And you're right, feet were close out of bounds, but rare missed downfield shot from Milroe to Burton.
So McClellan straight ahead. Drilled by Landon Jackson. Arkansas has wasted his great day. It's a critical down here for the Razorbacks to have any shot. Got to get a stop here in third and long.
Yeah, you do. And hey, back to Tom's report. Like McGlothern out, Stewart going out. They're already without Jalen Braxton, the talented true freshman corner. So depth and the cornerback spot going to really be on display here for this Arkansas team. You think about these third and long situations. We saw a lot of man-to-man in the first half. Can the Razorbacks secondary, can they hold up with these Alabama wide receivers?
Milroe tore it up on third down in the first half. Has time here. Receiver. And the ball knocked away at the last second. Intended for Bond. Nice job by Jaden Johnson. It'll be fourth down and 9.
No man-to-man coverage. They come out and they play zone. And really well done here by Johnson. Eyes on the quarterback. Jumps in front of this route. Disruptive pass from Jalen Milroe. That pass a little bit behind Isaiah Bond. You want to put out in front. But a key stop for this Arkansas defense.
So Burnip on to punt. Try to pin Arkansas deep as he did at the end of the first half. Satania is the deep man. Going to let this one go. And it goes out of bounds. Let's see where it crossed. Like it crossed around the 10. And the official will stop at the 11. So that's where Arkansas will have it when we come back 2.5 minutes into the third. It remains 21-6 Bama.
Victory for a reason, but how does Miami bounce back? Can't wait to watch that game here tonight in Chapel Hill.
KJ Jefferson going to keep it here on first down. They finally get something on the ground. They'll take 5 or 6 yards as Marshall makes the tackle. So you think of Jefferson going either as a runner or as a thrower. Only 10 pass attempts in that first half. 6 of 10 for 80 yards.
They were not very aggressive whatsoever in the first half. Like that opening play, little quarterback counter, positivity, stay in front of the change. But at some point, you've got to be able to protect. You've got to be able to push the ball down the field.
And the throw it here. Jefferson getting rid of it, and it's incomplete. Had some pressure in his face from Boygby. He's trying to hit Broden. Now it's 3rd down and 4.
Well, Tim Keenan comes right away. He comes so clean. He thought it was a screen, shut it down. And just KJ Jefferson, no trust, no confidence to step up in the pocket. He's fading away. Ball gets in the dirt. And a quick 3rd down here for the Hogs offense.
Just 2 of 8 on 3rd down. Kind of feels like a gotta-have situation.
Andrew Armstrong.
He's been quiet since he caught a ball in the first quarter. KJ taken off and thrown down about 2 yards short of the line to gain. Keenan and Braswell team up on the stop, and it's a wasted series, a wasted 1st down for Arkansas. They got 6 on 1st down, but they got a punt now.
Well, it's going to be a drop 8. Zone coverage on the back end, nowhere to go. KJ Jefferson waits, tries to find someone, and then it's Tim Keenan just taking up 2 offensive linemen, getting off the block and making the play at the line of scrimmage, and another 3 and out for this Arkansas offense.
Max Fletcher on to punt. Words that we've stated quite often here today. McKinstry is deep. Just got that one away. It was nearly blocked. Excellent punt, and it takes a huge bounce inside the 15. It rolls out of bounds around the 10. That is a 71-yard punt.
Fletcher's fired up. He likes it. Great punt.
Tonight on ESPN Plus, the UFC Fight Nights featherweight main event. Sadiq Yusuff, Edson Barboza squaring off. The prelims started 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, followed by the main card 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time.
Who you got tonight?
I'm going with Barboza.
Same here. Be a good fight.
I've been grinding the UFC tape this week, and that's what I came up with after hours and hours of study film.
You keep throwing Tom and me under the bus, I'm going to get you in one of those octagons.
All 4 tires.
First down at the Alabama 11-yard line. McClellan, check that. Williams on the carry, past the 25, out to the 27-yard line. Roydell Williams, who has a 100-yard rushing game earlier this season against USF, got 16 there.
Boy, it's Tyler Booker again. McLaughlin inside. Your left guard center have really had some nice key blocks here early. See that burst from Roydell Williams. Seeing them start to run the football more effectively. 3rd nice run here in the 2nd half.
Alabama rotating its running backs. Jam Miller is in there now. We saw true freshman Justice Haynes in the first half. And Miller has a crease at the 40 and just runs through the defender. Walcott out to the 46, a 19-yard gain.
But now they're going to come back with the counter. Okay, going to pull this backside guard. Get Oots out in front. Really well blocked up. Nice hole opens up. You see the patience. And then the explosion through the hole. Jamarion Miller, Jam Miller, another nice run.
I'm going to run it again. Williams has room. And Williams is inside the 30-yard line. And run out of bounds at the 20. Another chunk play on the ground, 37 yards.
And it's all about this Alabama offensive line. Getting really good push at the point of attack. These running backs hitting it downhill. Holes opening up. Another quality pickup. Tide rushing attack really starting to roll.
I think Nick Saban's trying to send a message to his offensive line. There's no doubt. We're going to rely on you. You're going to get better each and every play. Let's see if we can just wear these guys down.
Well, that's what he's talking to us. That's what he really wants to see the 2nd half of the season pick up for this team.
They're at 100 rushing yards right now this quarter as Williams picks up 4 or 5 there. Landon Jackson with the stop. Alabama on the doorstep of scoring again. They have 21 unanswered points after Arkansas led 6-0 late in the first. And again, their numbers on the year not great. But much better today, 157 already. And you just feel like as the season goes along that those rushing numbers are going to ascend. Give to Williams again. Why not? It's working. Down to about the 12. 4 more yards there. So 3rd down and short coming up. Alabama has Tennessee here next week. LSU here the following week. They still have to go to Kentucky and Auburn, but Nick Saban's team very much back in the SEC title conversation, the college football playoff conversation, based on the last month and how they played since that loss to Texas.
And it's about getting better each and every week. That's exactly what this Alabama team has done. It's why Nick Saban said he really likes this team and the personality they've shown.
Milroe to throw. Everybody covered. Milroe on the move and throws it away. That's a good stop there for Arkansas, as Alabama will send on the field goal team here.
And I recognize the crowd doesn't really like that, but there's no one open down the field. And Jalen Milroe buying himself some time, waiting, trying to see if one of his receivers can come open. Nobody comes open, and it's a smart play. Just move to your right and throw the ball out of bounds.
Tight end C.J. Dupree shaking up. Yeah, why would the crowd be upset? I mean, what's he supposed to do there? I mean, there's nobody open. He did the smart thing. Don't turn the ball over. Just throw it away. Get your field goal team out there. Get some points. Make it a 3-score game. And the old play-by-play jinx, we hope, is not going to come into effect here. 25 consecutive made field goals, longest active streak. And you're looking at a 30-yarder from straight on. And no problem for the all-time leading scorer in SEC history. And it's an 18-point lead now for 11th-ranked Alabama.
Some of those Oklahoma teams, or what about Florida State, the Bobby Bowden run? What, they have 14 straight years to be in the top 5? Let's go there.
What do you got?
I got to be honest. Maybe Bobby Bowden at Florida State. Penn State, maybe?
Here's Satania on the return. He doesn't even make it to the 20. Well, Florida State has the 3rd longest.
Okay.
Alabama has the 2nd. Let's answer the Aflac trivia question. Which team has the longest streak in AP poll history? And the answer is at 348. Those great Tom Osborne Nebraska teams.
How about that? I played against a couple of those teams. They had quite the run. Quite the run there with Tom Osborne, and obviously Matt Rule trying to get it back on track here this season.
Midway point of the 3rd quarter. Arkansas has not scored since the middle of the 1st, and they don't have a touchdown yet. Jefferson, as a flag goes down, trying to get out of there, and finally is tackled. Terrion Arnold was holding on for dear life and eventually got the quarterback to the ground. Let's see what the penalty's about.
Holding. Offense. Number 44. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So that was a Francis Sherman trying to block.
Kevin Steele going to bring a little pressure, bringing Terrion Arnold off the edge. Nobody accounts for him, unable to get to him. And another sack here for this Alabama defense. Terrion Arnold, we haven't called his name much. He's so much improved. Unbelievably athletic young man. Could have played basketball at Alabama and scratching the surface of what he's capable of doing with his defense.
The coach has said he's a future United States president. So he talks to everybody. He knows everybody. As A.J. Green runs out of bounds at the 16-yard line, so a 10-yard pickup.
And we know he's coachable. A couple of weeks ago, he had that little comment that went viral talking about the way Coach Saban coaches him up and gets on him. We saw that coaching taking place here today.
Remember when Kevin Steele said he'd have a conversation with a tree?
That's right. That's exactly right. About 20 minutes.
Kevin said he brought his wife in one time to work at Terrion, hadn't met her. He didn't even know it was his wife. It just stopped her in the hall, started talking. They were talking for 25 minutes about life. And then Kevin said, by the way, this is my wife. Screen set up here, but it's read well. And a body slam on A.J. Green by Quindarius Robinson on 3rd down.
Boy, this is such good defense. Going to bring the pressure. Screen is set up, but it's read so well. So let's watch Terrion come here. And then just an excellent job identifying the screen, shutting it down, and making the play by Quindarius Robinson. This is complimentary defense. Pressure comes, and everyone's got a responsibility. Quindarius Robinson feels it, sees the running back, stays right with him, and makes an excellent play.
So another punt here from Fletcher. His last one went 71 yards. McKinstry standing around midfield. Another good kick. McKinstry backing up, and it takes another good Arkansas bounce before going out of bounds. That one goes 59 yards. So Terrion Arnold, you touched on it. Here are his thoughts from earlier about being coachable.
I actually was jogging off the field. I'm like, dang, boy, he looked mad. Boy, he finna give it to somebody. And then I'm like, oh, it's me. So, like, when he was saying that, I mean, he was telling me to time up the blitz on the motion. And I know y'all seen, like, how many times do I have to tell you? You know the word. But, like, when he said that, it was kind of like one of those things that you just have to not hear how he's saying it, but you have to hear what he's saying. And, I mean, it's another thing when you look at it as far as never knowing when the camera's on you and being coachable. And I feel like the relationship that I have with him, he knows that I can take coaching like that. And it's hard coaching. And when you choose to come here, you never know when he can chew you out. And like people always say, you should be worried when he's not saying something.
Milroe with an overthrow on first down.
Turn the volume up at home, parents. Let the young football players, any athlete, whatever it may be, listen to that. That's the mindset you need to have, to be able to understand the message, hear the message, maybe not how it's delivered, and be coachable. Take coaching. No matter how talented you are, how good you are, be coachable. Pays dividends for Terrion Arnold, pays dividends for this entire Alabama team.
McClellan gets bottled up at the 32. You know, every time we've been here at an Alabama game, all the players that we meet with, there's a common denominator, and that's love of the game, mental toughness, willingness to be coached. Yep. And that's why we said earlier, it's not just about getting the best players, but a big part of the culture is the type of people that you target in recruiting, something Nick Saban and his staff have mastered over the last 2 decades. On 3rd and 7, Milroe going to throw. Fires over the middle and going upstairs, but unable to pull it in was Jalen Hale. He had it, but then got hit. Jaden Johnson in coverage, and then the ball came out, and Hale a little slow getting up.
Actually good protection. Arkansas brings pressure, brings a blitz. He's got time to throw at this ball just a little bit high. We see Hale climb the ladder, goes up with big, strong hands, but he can't complete the process of the catch through the ground. It's a really good job by Jaden Johnson staying with Hale all the way through that entire reception and forcing the pass breakup. Much needed stop for the Arkansas defense. Can their offense do anything? That's the question, Dave.
Right. I mean, done nothing since the first quarter, and you got to wonder about the confidence level of KJ Jefferson right now. Satania under it, and the fair catch made at the 23. This afternoon on ABC and the ESPN app at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Great game of the Big Ten, right? Oregon, Washington. At least next year it will be. For now, great game of the Pac-12. And a huge year. What is the final year, for all intents and purposes, of the Pac-12, and they might get a playoff team.
They might. It's a great league this year. You might as well go out with a bang, and that's what the Pac-12 is doing. USC, Notre Dame tonight, going to be a good one also, but UCLA, Oregon State, Washington State, Oregon, obviously Washington, USC, and Utah, the 2-time reigning champs, all really good teams this year. It's going to be fun as they start to pick each other apart.
Flag down. Jefferson able to dump it off. Another penalty marker comes in. Armstrong made the catch. Campbell there defensively. Only 3 first downs for Arkansas in the game, and they all came in the first quarter. They haven't had first down since. And again, that was a good play on first down, but will it be negated by a penalty?
Illegal motion.
It will be.
Offense number 6. Moving forward to the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Pre-snap penalty, absolute killer. You cannot do that to yourself when you're struggling so mightily to move the football. Now backed up behind the chains, negating a positive play on first down.
You know, Dusty, we were talking about, you mentioned all the teams that are in the mix. I mean, Washington State isn't out of it. UCLA isn't out of it. It's a great league this year. Colorado losing to Stanford last night after leading 29-0 at halftime. Here's Tesla on the catch out in space. He's picked up and dropped by Arnold. Short game. Second down coming up.
It's going to be tough, Dusty, in that league. I mean, you're going to have to win one-possession games almost each and every week with the quarterback play, the offensive firepower. Coming out of that thing unscathed, it's going to be difficult.
It is. I'm going to tell you what, though, if there was ever a year that a one-loss Pac-12 champion.
Oh, yeah.
Deserved a seat at the table in the playoff. This is that year. A lot of ball left to be played, but can't wait to see who that is that can ultimately survive that lead.
Jefferson on 2nd down and long. Pressure in his face, and his arm got hit. So it'll be 3rd down. Dallas Turner, first time we've called his name today. He's 3rd in the country in sacks. Got in the face of Jefferson on that last play.
It's right off the edge, and again, KJ Jefferson falling back as he's throwing it, not stepping into it. Ball doesn't even come close to being completed. And Dallas Turner, man, he's got such a good first step, twitchy. Been a big impact player, creating negative plays all season.
3-time captain KJ Jefferson. They need a big play from their quarterback. Instead, they just hand it off to Dubinion, being chased by Turner and shoved out of bounds on 3rd down and 8. A late flag thrown where the ball carrier was hit on the far sideline. Dubinion.
3rd and long, and you hand it off.
I just think a conservative call again there.
I get you're struggling to protect, but man.
Unless you think maybe he was trying to do that to get to 4th and 2 and go for it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
We haven't seen a lot of mental errors by Alabama today. That's a big one by Jalen Key, though, as that puts the ball to the Arkansas 42.
First down since the first quarter. Middle of the screen, you see Jalen Key.
A wrestling match there with an Arkansas player.
Got hooked up, looked like with Jaden Wilson, and his hand up in the face.
First down since the first quarter for Arkansas, and it comes via penalty, and they should have been stopped. KJ Jefferson of the quarterback run, brought down by Lawson after a gain of 2 as we near 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. 24-6, Alabama, 24 unanswered points since the first quarter. And look at that, since the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. And again, it comes via penalty. Now 2nd and 8. Jefferson throwing it to Armstrong, getting it to a playmaker out in space. And he's got an Arkansas first down. They're in Alabama territory for the first time since the opening quarter.
You go trips to the boundary, just a little wide receiver screen, get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and Armstrong moves the sticks. They need to locate number 2. Good things happen when he gets the ball.
They go empty. Jefferson to the air, and the pass is tipped at the line, incomplete. Eboigbe got a hand up.
But Justin Eboigbe, he is so long. 6'5", 290 pounds, really long arms. Great story. He had neck surgery last season. Had to miss the latter half of the year. Was having issues with numbness in both arms. Excellent medical staff at Alabama. They identified it. They got him fixed. And he's been playing great with this Tide front this season.
On 2nd and 10. Pressure on Jefferson. Stepping up and gets out of there. He's got all green in front of him. Jefferson inside the 30 and finally tackled by Dallas Turner from behind at the 25. That's a 28-yard gain.
This is exactly what Arkansas needed. Look, the walls were closing in upon him. There were pass rushers all over the place. That big body, he tucks it and goes. And a big explosive play on the ground creating by KJ Jefferson.
A.J. Green gets just a yard or 2. And again, this is a guy that's played in a lot of games, won some games. He's the first 3-year captain at Arkansas in 100 years. His guys, Nick Saban talked yesterday with us about how challenging it is to stop him, and it hasn't been very challenging to stop Arkansas so far, but they can somehow finish this drive with a touchdown. They're not done yet here today. And a minute and a half remaining in this 3rd quarter. Keep it on the ground with Green, and able to break an arm tackle down to the 20, so 3-yard pickup, 3rd and 5.
The extra effort at the end of that run, fighting through a tackler, keeping the legs moving. 3rd and medium here for this Arkansas offense.
Don't necessarily have to be in 4-down territory. You're down 3 scores, so kicking a field goal gets you back within 2 scores. Be interesting what kind of a call we get here. We've seen them run it mostly on 3rd and medium to long. They've been running the ball.
They have no drop back passing game.
Can't protect. Move the pocket. Get your quarterback outside.
10th play of the drive. Jefferson stepping up and floating it down the sideline, and it's incomplete, and there comes the flag. Washington, the intended receiver. He had the true freshman Caleb Downs in coverage, never turned around, so this is going to be pass interference and a first down.
I like the play design. Going to get Washington, the freshman tight end, on a wheel route. Caleb Downs never got his head turned back around. He's in good shape. He's in good position. He just continues the contact through the pass catcher.
Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I mean, most of the time this year when Caleb Downs' name has been called, it's for a good reason. This is a terrific true freshman whose brother Josh is a receiver for the Colts in the NFL. His dad Gary played running back in the NFL. His uncle is Dre Bly, was a great corner with the Rams. Caleb Downs is a stud. Made a mistake there, not turning around, and that gives Arkansas the ball, first and goal at the 5. Jefferson pulls it back, fires into the end zone, pulled in for the touchdown by Satania. The 81st career touchdown accounted for KJ Jefferson, the most in Razorback history.
Just going to see just a simple slant here. And as the middle of the field is going to come open, RPO action draws everybody up. No safety over the top. And an absolute dart here by KJ Jefferson. Caleb Downs trying to read the eyes of KJ Jefferson, getting that passing lane. And KJ Jefferson, 18 straight games now with a touchdown pass as an Arkansas quarterback.
And first receiving touchdown of the year for Satania. As the point after is good, he had a punt return for a touchdown earlier this season against BYU, and Arkansas back within 11. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by AT&T 5G. Get Alabama outside the top 10 at number 11. Oklahoma, after that big win, jumps all the way to number 5 and is idle, playing UCF next week. You get Florida State up big on Syracuse. Georgia, after trailing early, and Michigan, after trailing early, up big on Vanderbilt and Indiana.
Next week, you got Penn State, Ohio State at the Shoe. That is going to be an awesome matchup. You touched on that Oklahoma-Texas game a week ago. Wow, what a matchup. And how happy is Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, the SEC, watching that game. He was there watching that saying, hey, this is ours next season. The SEC, such an unbelievable league with so many tradition-rich programs. Adding Oklahoma, Texas, feels like that's going to be a game changer.
Alabama goes to Norman, right, next year?
Yes, they do.
In a conference game?
That's right.
Kendrick Law deep here for the Tide, and just doesn't even look up. Going to be a touchback. Let's go to Matt Berry in the studio.
Okay, gentlemen, time now for our AT&T.
Yep, and again, can't wait, Maddie, for that great game in Seattle, Oregon, Washington, ABC in about an hour. Milroe with the pitch, and Jam Miller is knocked down. Good tackle by Hudson Clark. And no gain on first down.
Hudson Clark, he's been a staple, this Arkansas defense, for several years. He's got a knack for always being around the ball, setting that edge on the perimeter. Offense finally gets something going, gets a touchdown on the board, a little momentum maybe, and the defense with a nice play on first down.
And that is the final play of the third quarter. Alabama still in command, but Arkansas with a little bit of momentum. So that's the end of the third. Now let's take a quick timeout with DoorDash.
That's what happened on that last drive to end the quarter.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had 2 third downs. We got 2 penalties. We had them stopped on third down and got a face mask penalty, and third down here. We got a pass interference penalty, but you know, we got to get off the field on third down. I said that to you before, and that's a real key when you got players like this that can run the ball and run quarterback runs. When you get them in third down, you got to get off the field.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
And now Alabama's going to be in third and long after Landon Jackson gets his 3rd sack today.
Landon Jackson has been a one-man wrecking crew off the edges. Again, watch the hands. Back in with Caden Proctor. He's going to get the hands. He's going to bend the edge so well. Good tight corner. Jalen Milroe goes down. 4th sack of the day for Landon Jackson. going to have to give him some help.
3rd and 19. Milroe going deep, overthrows his receiver, and it's incomplete. Jaden Johnson could not get there, but Arkansas does force a punt. The Razorbacks are going to get it back here. Should have decent field position. Less than a minute into the 4th, down 11.
Boy, bad possession there by Alabama. We talked coming out of halftime, looked like they were going to really start to establish the line of scrimmage and run the football effectively. Wait, just the struggles continue with protection, and there's some miscommunication down the field. I don't know if you could see it from the field, Tom, but receiver, quarterback, not on the same page.
Yeah, and that was a forced ball into double coverage. There's no question.
Meanwhile, Milroe, guys, 1 for 8. Last 8 attempts, just 1 completion for 4 yards. Good punt, Burnip backing up. Sategna fields it on the 30. And it's taken down by 3 members of the Crimson Tide. 54-yard punt and a return of about 2 yards. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. The Nick Saban statue, 6 national championships, seeking win number 200 here with Alabama. And his team's up 11, but a little momentum here for Arkansas. And they got the ball on their 31-yard line, trailing by 11. And they put together another good drive here. There's nothing on 1st down, just no room whatsoever to run there. Binion taken down for a loss of 2, so Alabama comes back and gets Arkansas off schedule.
Tim Smith, Chris Braswell changing the line of scrimmage, creating that negative play. Well, Arkansas right back at a couple of penalties from Alabama. Arkansas took advantage, and you score here, this game gets very, very interesting in the 4th quarter.
Alabama bringing 5 defenders here. Jefferson going to take off. He's got running room. He's across the 40, and he's to midfield. Finally wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 23 yards.
Well, they bring pressure, and nobody keeps the edge. It's man-to-man down the field. Good blocking by Tyrone Broden, and a big pickup by K.J. Jefferson.
They go quickly here, get it to Tesla on the space. Good pickup on 1st down, knocked out of bounds by Jalen Key after a gain of about 6. Again, we wondered earlier with confidence level of K.J. Jefferson. It looked like it is back right now. And again, this is a guy that's played in a lot of games, a lot of experience. He's responded.
Made that big run the previous drive, fired his best pass at strike on the touchdown to Sategna, and a little rhythm, a little confidence going here to start the 4th.
Dubinion on the carry. And he pinballs off defenders, close to a 1st down. And remember, down 11 at this stage, they can get a field goal and get it to, and their kicker's already made a 49-yarder and a 55-yarder. Got an injured, 2 injured Alabama defenders. Marshall is up. And meanwhile, Tim Smith is still down. So we'll step away with 12:24 to go.
It has.
Take a look at our SEC Spotlight presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Got 6 teams from the SEC ranked, including obviously the Crimson Tide. Vanderbilt with another touchdown. They're still down 13. LSU Auburn tonight on ESPN. Tennessee, Texas A&M should be good. Kentucky, Missouri on SEC Network tonight should be good as well. Alabama's been really good in this series. 16 straight wins. Haven't lost to Arkansas since 06 before Nick Saban arrived in Tuscaloosa. They've won 9 in a row over Arkansas here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Last time Arkansas won at this venue was 2003 in double overtime. And Arkansas still down 11, but making a move here. Little momentum and inside the 40-yard line. Jefferson pulls it back, but the pass is high. Intended for Tesla, who was open. Jalen Key was bearing down on him. Now it's bring up 2nd down.
Got to make that throw if you're K.J. Jefferson. It's the RPO. It's one of the staples of this offense. Just a slant over the middle. Linebackers take a step up. It's open. Pass high. Got to put that one right on his face, right on his numbers. Make it a catchable football for the wide receiver.
He's been pretty accurate this year. Jefferson around 70% completion rate. Alabama stacks the box, bring pressure. Jefferson in trouble. Hit by Arnold. Jefferson won't go down though. He gets out of there and he dumps the ball off. It's caught inside the 20-yard line and all the way down to the 10. his second catch all season. It goes for 28 yards.
Terrion Arnold on a corner blitz. He's got him dead to rights, but he won't go down. KJ Jefferson uses that big body, stays up, locates his outlet in the flats and gums, and what a play by KJ Jefferson.
Dubinion trying the edge. It's not there. Knocked out of bounds by Key, but what an effort and what strength by Jefferson.
Got to tackle the big man low. Terrion Arnold getting into a pushing match with a man 50 pounds his size, and KJ Jefferson refuses to go down. He locates gums.
Arkansas teammates, Dusty.
Damn.
No help.
Nobody getting there to the quarterback with him. It's exactly right, Tom.
Wonder if a lot of guys stopped just assuming there'd be the sack after he got wrapped up initially. Here's a fade to the end zone. Incomplete. Going for Armstrong. Good coverage by Kool-Aid McKinstry, obviously one of the best in college football. And now it's 3rd down and 11.
Andrew Armstrong, he had pretty good position there. Mistimed his jump, jumped a little early, could not elevate and get the ball. Kool-Aid McKinstry, like he typically is, in good position on the coverage.
So they lost a yard on 1st down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 11. Loudest the crowd has been here in a while. Jefferson with time. Receiver is there. It's caught. Dubinion. It's a touchdown for Arkansas. The Razorbacks are back in the game. 11 minutes to go. 24-19.
Well, this is really good play design by Dan Enos. Getting the matchup that he wants. We'll get to that in a second. Arkansas going to go for 2, try to cut this to a field goal game.
Right decision here.
Yes.
Great design and execution on 3rd down. They're going to put Dominique Johnson at 250 pounds in the backfield with Jefferson.
Probably keep him in the block, Dave.
And Alabama looks a little confused here, trying to get properly lined up. Official just reset the play clock. Razorbacks going for 2. Jefferson fires, and diving is Armstrong, getting in for 2 points. Reaching out at 6'4" with that length to get it across to make it a 3-point game. 15 straight points for Arkansas.
Let's go back to this touchdown. Watch the matchup that's created. Dubinion, wide receiver, he's going to run a wheel. Lawson's on him. This is going to create friction and a rub, and Lawson's not able to get over the top. Nobody goes with Dubinion. Touchdown pass. The touchdown wasn't enough. It's Armstrong with the 2-point, and the Hogs in business here in Tuscaloosa.
Whoa.
Oregon, Washington, today at 3:30 on ABC.
Once again, Arkansas in the game in the 4th quarter as Little just hammers this one over the head of Kendrick Law. Against BYU, the game was tied. In the 4th quarter, Arkansas ended up losing. Against LSU, the game was tied. In the 4th quarter, Arkansas ends up losing. Last week against Ole Miss, Arkansas leads 20-17, ends up losing. They've lost 4 straight games, 3 by 7 points or less. And they have scored the last 15 points, very much in this game with 11 minutes to go.
We asked Sam Pittman earlier this week, where's your team at? Where's the mindset of this team? And he said, I can guarantee you there's no quit, and they're going to continue to fight. They've shown that here today.
Alabama going to try to run it here, and no room whatsoever for McClellan. Antonio Greer filling in for an injured Chris Paul with a big stick and a loss of 1.
Greer gets the tackle, but the interior, that Arkansas defensive line getting pushed, getting knocked back, and it's Greer that cleans it up.
10.5 to go. Jalen Milroe has struggled throwing the ball lately. What's worked for them has been deep shots, at least in the first half. With the help of some busted coverages, we'll see if they try to go downtown here. As a timeout is called, Alabama
Alabama
couldn't get lined up. Play clock was winding down. So that will leave the Crimson Tide with 2. Arkansas still has all 3 of its timeouts. We'll step away. Giving up 21 second-half points week 2 to Texas during this 4-game win streak. A combined 13 points in the second half allowed. Today, 15 by Arkansas unanswered to pull it in 3. And now Alabama faced with 2nd and long. 10:24 remaining. Ball on the Crimson Tide 25. Milroe to throw. It's been a struggle lately. He fires over the middle, and it's incomplete through the hands of Isaiah Bond. Pass was a little high. Bond couldn't pull it in. It's 3rd and 10.
Bond had a step on the defender, man-to-man coverage. And this pass slightly behind him, unable to bring it in. Milroe standing strong in the pocket. Slight misfire. Now a crucial 3rd down. So far this season, Jermaine Burton, he's kind of been the guy in these spots. We'll see if he can find number 3 in a big 3rd down.
A lot of talk this week about improved confidence for Jalen Milroe in a big spot here. 3rd and 10, has time to throw, and another drop. This time by Malik Benson. He probably wouldn't have got the first down anywhere. There were a couple of defenders around him. He would have caught it at the 30. The line to get.
It sure seems like Milroe's just been off a little bit these last 2 or 3 possessions.
He has been. He's been behind. He's been high, particularly over the middle. And I don't know why Alabama has gone away from running the football on early downs.
We're moving people to start the second half.
Burnip, another good punt. Satania has to back up to his 16-yard line. There's a flag down. Satania trying to get the edge, and Alabama plays it well. It goes out of bounds around the 23, and would assume that that penalty will be against the Razorbacks. 60-yard punt, by the way. Burnip, who was injured last week, they weren't even sure that he was going to punt today. The place kicker, Will Reichert, finished last week as the punter, and they thought he was going to punt today, but Burnip went out in warm-ups and was okay. And he's been booming them all game long.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 23. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
That will put Arkansas back near its 10-yard line. Well, coming up on ABC here in about 30 minutes. Also on the ESPN app, it is Oregon and Washington. The 8th-ranked Ducks against the number 7 Huskies. Game day, of course, was in Seattle today. It'd be a great scene, great rivalry. Renewed with a pair of top 10 teams. Meanwhile, here Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luginbill. Arkansas with all the momentum, but backed up now inside its 10-yard line, trailing by 3. 10-minute mark.
Communication going to be difficult back here. This crowd has come alive with Arkansas backed up.
They're going to run Dubinion in trouble and spun down at the 5-yard line by Jalen Key. Loss of a couple on first down.
This is how a safety should engage in the run game. You're going to see him fly downhill and make this play coming out of your screen. Recognizes it, and downhill right now, and a quality tackle in the open field.
They mark him at the 8, so they ruled forward progress was stopped there, not at the 6 where he went down. So it's 2nd and 10 from the 8. Arkansas going to play it safe, and a good cut by Dominique Johnson. Finally grabbed and brought down at the 12. Gain of 4. Dallas Turner and Tresman Marshall on the tackle, and it'll be 3rd down and 6. Another injured player here on that Alabama defense. We've seen a lot of bodies on the ground for the Crimson Tide on defense in the second half. It's Tresman Marshall. It's the second time we've seen him shaken up in this game. Dusty, you made the point earlier that the face mask by Alabama.
Yeah. Jalen Key, 3rd down.
Changed the game.
Yeah. This was a 3rd down. At that point in time, it's 24-6. Arkansas had got nothing going. They had a first down since the first quarter. in that moment, that face mask happens, and sometimes you just need an opportunity. You need something to happen throughout the course of a game to give you some life, to give you some momentum. To Arkansas's credit, they have not slowed down ever since. Scored on that possession, scored on the next possession. It has energized this offense. It has energized this defense, and that play single-handedly has gotten Arkansas back in this ballgame.
Look at that. 18 plays, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns since that face mask. And again, when you have a veteran quarterback that's played in a lot of games, played in a lot of big games, not phased on the road, not phased by the fact he's down 24-6 in KJ Jefferson. Now he'll be tested here on 3rd down and 6, but he's played very well in the second half. As Marshall heads to the sideline for Alabama, 3rd down and 6 for the Razorbacks on their 12-yard line. Just outside 9 minutes to play here in the 4th. Again, keep in mind, there's really, for Alabama to make the college football playoff, no margin for error. They have to win, you would think, the remainder of their games. After that loss to Texas week 2. Gonna keep it on the ground, and a 1st down and more for A.J. Green, all the way out past the 30. Well, they're getting some movement up front. Gain of 19.
Well, right side of the offensive line does a great job. Joshua Braun, Patrick Kutas, and the center, Bo Limmer. Big hole opened up. They keep it on the ground. And a very important 1st down.
Jefferson into traffic, gets caught. Big hit. But Armstrong able to hang on despite getting drilled by Caleb Downs. And it's a gain of 9.
The RPO that they love to run, it's a staple of this offense. They haven't connected on it much, but off of the run they picked up on that 3rd down, get those backers up a little bit, bang it in there from KJ Jefferson. I like the concentration to finish that catch through the contact by Andrew Armstrong.
Short yardage, they like to run the quarterback in this situation, but they're going to hand it off here, and Green picks a hole and gets the 1st down. Boy, what's been the difference on the line of scrimmage? Because this entire quarter, we're on handoffs. The defensive line for Alabama is downfield. We were not seeing that in the 1st.
They're getting movement. They're getting off the football, and they rotate and shuffle a lot of guys along this Bama front, but credit to this Arkansas offensive line. They knew it was going to be a challenge, and a challenge that they weren't winning for most part of this game. But when it's mattered the most, they've stepped up, and they're really playing their best football of the game here these last couple of drives.
And they haven't abandoned the running game.
That's right. Exactly right, Tom. They stuck with it.
Jefferson to throw here, trying to set up a screen. It was well covered. That's an incomplete pass. Alabama read that. Dallas Turner had some pressure there. So a 2nd down and 10.
Tim Keenan, the nose, identified that, was right in the hip pocket of A.J. Green, trying to set up the screen. It's well read, well defensed by Alabama up front.
We talked to KJ Jefferson this week. He said, my mechanics are much better. I've become more of a student of the game, watching a lot more film. No one's ever questioned his toughness or his leadership, and those have been on full display here today. Has not made a mistake. No turnovers in the game, and trying to take the lead here on this drive. They run it, and stumbling is Dubinion and going down, and he had a crease if he kept his feet. So it's a gain of just a couple, and it'll bring up 3rd and long, and we'll see if they're in 4-down territory depending on what happens here.
Bama fortunate there, Dave. The vision from Dubinion. He had to cut back. He just stumbled a little bit. Turf monster jump up and got him. That was close to being a big, big gain on the ground.
So 3rd down and 8 at the Arkansas 46, 6.5 to play. Razorbacks down 3. Storming back from a 24-6 deficit late in the 3rd. Jefferson to the air. Gets hit. And down he goes. Dallas Turner with the takedown. A loss of 11 at the 35.
We've been waiting to call his name all game. One of the premier pass rushers in college football. He's going to hit Chamblee with an inside move. Starting outside, he's going to come inside. And he's going to get a big, much-needed sack on KJ Jefferson. He gets there first. Looks like it might have been Eboigbe that finishes it off. Little game. In first, tackle wraps around. Nice stun inside. Just when this Alabama defense needed it.
And Arkansas has to punt now with that 11-yard loss. They do have enough time. They have 3 timeouts, but they'll need to get a stop as McKinstry takes it in on his 25. He's tripped up at the 35-yard line. Otherwise, that was going to be a huge return. Manny Powell made the play for Arkansas. So 5:19 remaining. Alabama ball on its 35-yard line with a 3-point lead.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 halves for Jalen Milroe throwing the football. In the first half, it was shots, it was explosives, a lot of things down the field. In the second half, he has just been off. See if Alabama gets back to running the football. We haven't seen him utilize his athleticism and running ability either.
McClellan up the middle, nothing. Man, Landon Jackson, what a day he's had. 3.5 sacks, tackle for a loss, good stick there, gain of 1.
Fought through a double team right there, Dave. I mean, he's just giving you everything you could ask for. He's 6'7", he's 280. He's shown that bend off the edge. His hands have been great. What a force he's been along the front for Arkansas.
He's putting some good stuff on tape now.
Yeah, he is.
Milroe to throw, 1 for his last 9. Gonna dump it off here, threw it behind McClellan, but he makes the first defender miss and gets out to the 42. Gain of 5, could easily been no gain, maybe a loss on the play. Good job by McClellan after the catch. Landon Jackson tracked him down. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, McClellan was dead to rights. Greer was in perfect position. You make that initial defender miss. Now set up 3rd, very manageable.
Well, Jalen Milroe, guy that was benched after the 2 interceptions against Texas, didn't play week 3 against South Florida. They went back to him week 4, and the offense has been terrific ever since. This is the most he struggled during this 4-game stretch here in the second half. Play clock with 2, snap to Milroe, he'll throw, late pressure, and looks like a timeout was called by Nick Saban before the snap with a play clock
Timeout.
at 1.
Alabama. This is their second of the half.
He is not happy.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
No, he's not, Tommy. And this is, you know, traditional Nick Saban teams. You line up and you're gonna run the football, right? I mean, you're gonna be able to feel like our offensive line's gonna be able to get the push, get the movement. Obviously, they're set up to throw the ball. It'll be interesting to see what Tommy Rees dials up here on a crucial 3rd down.
Plus, you know, Alabama has to call that timeout there, stops the clock.
That's
Arkansas
right.
keeps all of its timeouts. Just, you know, we talked a lot about Alabama and Milroe and the positives.
Yeah.
Really impressed with what we've seen from Arkansas here in the second half. This is a team that has been in every 4th quarter, been in every game, yet has not been able to pull it out. And you started to wonder where their psyche was in the first half when they were getting blown out. It was an 18-point lead. They could do nothing in offense. Remember, they went the entire second quarter and most of the 3rd quarter without a first down. They had a first down via penalty, as we mentioned earlier, which was their first down since the 6-minute mark of the 1st quarter.
Showing fight, showing toughness here on the road. Bama 0 for 6 on 3rd down in the second half.
Arkansas obviously needs the stop. Time to throw here for Milroe. Everybody covered. Milroe looking to run, turns upfield, and has the first down before he steps out at the 46-yard line.
Boy, he's waited.
Terrific athlete.
He waited and waited and waited. I thought he was going to tuck and run well before this. He gets to the edge, he gets to the perimeter, and it's a foot race to the sticks. And as you referenced, Dave, excellent athlete. We see that on display, moving the chains and keeping the drive alive. They needed that so bad, and Jalen Milroe fought to get the first.
Outside of 2 minutes, so on first downs, the clock is running. That's a new rule this year. So Alabama able to take its time, and Arkansas is going to have to start using timeouts. But you got a pre-snap penalty, which stops the clock.
Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Ja'Cory Brooks, who's had a drop, now a penalty.
Coach Saban not happy.
Whoa.
Once again, yeah. You're down there, Tom. I don't know exactly what your viewpoint is, but he is livid down there on the sidelines.
The moment that flag hit the ground, I immediately located him. And nobody's immune, guys.
Clock starting on the ready for play. 2:50 remaining. Play clock at about 10 for first down and 15. McClellan Oh, coming down to make a huge hit at the 43-yard line is Jaden Johnson. The safety firing into the box and blasting the running back.
Timeout.
Big time collision coming downhill. You see him work his way from out of the screen, coming downhill to deliver this blow. But bam, right at the point of contact. And Chase McClellan is a physical running back. Jaden Johnson just bringing a little bit more to the table at full speed on impact.
So a timeout taken. That'll leave Arkansas with 2. Now that penalty, that makes it interesting now for the offense, right? Do you continue to run the ball now that you're behind the sticks and force Arkansas to use timeouts? Do you trust Milroe? Has he earned the trust of Nick Saban to be in a position to throw the ball, make good decisions, make high percentage throws?
I don't think you throw the ball on 2nd down. 3rd down, we can kind of have a conversation. Remember, got a really good punter. We talked about him today.
Right.
Got a defense that, minus a couple of drives, has been outstanding today. I don't think you put the ball in harm's way. I think you want to run this clock and force Arkansas to use those timeouts.
Got a 2-yard gain on 1st down after the 5-yard penalty. So it's 2nd and 13, and Milroe will throw the ball. Pressure on, and completed it! He somehow layered it over the defense to Niblack for a 1st down. Milroe took a shot. He's slow to get up, and what a throw!
Throw of the day for Jalen Milroe. Under pressure, under duress, he's going to get hit as he's fading back to deliver this football right over the outstretched arms of Thomas, underneath the safety, and a huge 1st down conversion to Amari Niblack. Well, so much for running it and not trusting the quarterback. Complete trust in Jalen Milroe, and he pays it off with the play of the game offensively for Alabama.
And that play right there backs up everything we heard from him, from his teammates, and from the coaching staff this week. He said, look, I know I'm the guy now. It's easier for me to lead because I know that I'm the starting quarterback, and I've earned that. The coaching staff said the same thing. He had been struggling a stretch where he was 1 for 9. And then on 2nd and 13, where he's put in a position where he has to make the play. If it's incomplete, you don't force Arkansas to use a timeout. You complete it, get a 1st down. Now they're down to 1 timeout and in big trouble.
No question. Think about the way the 2nd half had gone. To start this drive, he had not had a lot of success. Converts on that 3rd down with his legs and a crucial pass, finding his tight end.
Now you would think they'll run the ball, but again, with just the 1 timeout left for Arkansas. Williams down to the 42, and here's the last timeout. Clock stop with 2:22 remaining.
Arkansas, this is the 3rd and final of the half.
So assuming a run on 2nd down and a run on 3rd down, take it down to about a minute for a 4th down play. That's if Arkansas can get stops on 2nd and 3rd down.
No, Dusty, it's interesting. We talked all day long about the strength of Jalen Milroe and the deep ball, and whether he can layer a ball, whether he can show some nuance with his arm angle. And the one time he needed to do it was right there.
How about
3rd down?
How about the touch on that, Tom? I mean, just perfectly placed. You got Jaheim Thomas in the underneath coverage. He's right there. Ball right over his outstretched arm. Only his tight end can make the play. He had a sense about him yesterday that was very impressive. He was extremely confident. He was all about team. Talked about when he got set down against USF, he didn't pout. He didn't go into a hole. He stayed positive and figured out, how can I get better?
The pitch to McClellan inside the 40 and down to the 35. They'll take the clock down to about 1:35 before a snap on 3rd down and short. But to your point, Dusty, there was a presence yesterday about Jalen Milroe that I wonder if that was there week 1 and week 2 going into the Texas game. But terrific young man to talk with yesterday. And Tommy Rees, his offensive coordinator, told us he's taken ownership of this team as the leader. It's his team now. And again, that was on display. And that bounce back throw as they go 3rd and 2 here at the 35. And again, Arkansas has to get a stop here. No timeouts left. McClellan turns upfield, breaks the tackle, gets the 1st down, and for all intents and purposes, gets Alabama a win. And Nick Saban is 200th with the Crimson Tide.
Outside run Really nice job by Jace McClellan with his vision, getting outside. They bring Ja'Cory Brooks in. He helps set that edge. And that's going to ice it. I can't imagine Alabama does anything but need this game out and walk away with another victory. But Arkansas showed some real fight here in this second half.
There's a knee. One more coming. Alabama's going to go to 6-1, 4-0 in the SEC as a penalty marker down. A false start, but Nick Saban's still irate.
False start. Offense. Number 2. 5-yard penalty. First down.
More teaching points for Nick Saban. I mean, if they thought last week was hard, I got a feeling this week may be even harder, just based on the comeback that Arkansas had and the way he's still getting after the players when they still just have to kneel it down twice. There's the first one, the next one coming.
Plenty of stuff to coach up for Coach Saban. Get out of here with a win. I was just saying to Arkansas, again, I know for fans, it's a 5th straight loss, and nobody wants to be patted on the back for just keeping it close, but the schedule does lighten up for Arkansas. I think they've got a lot of winnable games on the schedule. This is not a bad football team. They've just hit an unbelievably tough stretch of games that they have been competitive in but not found a way to win. And we'll see exactly what Sam Pittman does after this game as Mississippi State going to be in Fayetteville next week.
Jalen Milroe takes a knee. Nick Saban wins his 200th game at Alabama. And the Crimson Tide improves to 6-1, 4-0 in conference play. Very much alive for an SEC championship and a college football playoff spot. They faced more adversity maybe today than they had in the previous wins during this now 5-game streak, with Arkansas making a run late to pull within 3, but Jalen Milroe made the big play, which essentially ended the game.
Trusted him on 2nd and long, let him put it up in the air, and he pays it off with an outstanding pass. Key first down that allowed them to ice this game away, and another win for Coach Saban, Tom.
Yeah, Dusty, Coach, obviously not as you scripted it, but you were able to finish the game and close it out. How would you assess this performance? Kind of up and down today.
Well, you know what? We played pretty good until it was 24-7. And then we got 2 third-down penalties. They got back in the game, got scored. We lost our momentum, went 3 and out 3 or 4 times on offense. So, you know, we got to learn how to play for 60 minutes and finish the game, which we really didn't do like we need to do today. So, but I think we'll learn from it and hopefully be better, ready for the next challenge.
What type of progress did you see from Jalen first half to second half?
You know, Jalen did a great job in the first half. You know, he missed about 3 or 4 throws in the second half, a little high, whatever. I don't know if it was pressure in the pocket or not getting his feet set, but he'll learn from it and get better as well.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
First of 3 straight home games, Tom, for Alabama. Tennessee next week, LSU the week after. Remember, those are the 2 teams that knocked off Alabama by 3 and 1 point respectively a year ago. And Jalen Milroe banged up on that play, but again, just earning the trust and confidence of his teammates and coaching staff, and an impressive bounce back after a little bit of a struggle there in the 3rd quarter. As number 11 Alabama hangs on to beat Arkansas 24-21. For Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luginbill, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from Tuscaloosa. Now let's send you back to the studio.